Hello everyone, I'm Tisha, and thank you for tuning in for yesterday's curls and today's pearls. So today's episode is a little bit different than others because as you can see, vroom vroom, it's in my car, and yeah, not the typical episode that we have. But today I want to address something that is very important to me. And you know, sometimes in these episodes I'm giving you beauty tips and just life hacks. Well, today's life hack is not just about making this beautiful, but making this beautiful. So what I'm going to talk about is mental health. I know that seems to kind of just be like a trend thing going on that a lot of people are talking about, but honestly, it's for real. We got to take care of that crap. Okay. So, I can't speak for anybody else other than myself, right? So, I'm going to tell you just about some of my stuff. I've kind of had some on again, off again struggles with depression and anxiety. I know that sometimes is kind of shocking to people because, I tend to just be so happy-go-lucky and smiling all the time and always having fun with my girlfriends and stuff like that. But no, believe it or not, I have struggled with depression and anxiety to the point of taking medication and going to therapy. And I'm going to tell you right now that I've been going to therapy consistently for the last year and a half, and hello, best decision I ever made in my whole life. Well, maybe not my whole life, but it was a pretty freaking great decision because oh my gosh, it's just fantastic. It is so great. I mean, yeah, I gotta pay somebody to listen to me, but this person is non-judgmental. They give me some really great guidance in life. They never like totally push me in like a bad way, but more of like how a coach pushes a player. And yeah, my particular counselor is amazing, and she really just encourages me, and when she sees there's an area of growth that I need in my life, that's where she like helps me and like pushing me and trying to just reprogram some thinking errors that I have and reframing, you know, just some of those things. And yeah, and so how that started is I did that for about 6 to 8 months, and I was still struggling in some areas, and so we played with the idea of maybe looking into some medication. And so I did that, and you know, I'd never done anything like that before. Never had a medication that I took on a consistent basis like that growing up or anything. So it was kind of a new deal for me in my 20s. And I did it. It was amazeballs. It was amazing. And it still is amazing. Again, one of the best decisions I ever made. And it was something that I realized I needed it. I needed it. It was something that was helpful for me. If taking a multivitamin is good for me and helpful for me, and taking antidepressants is good and helpful for me, why not, right? And for me, it's not something, I mean, again, I know everyone has different experiences with medication, and I know that they might need medications for different things. So again, I can only speak to my experience and what I've kind of gone through. But it was super helpful for me, and it's just been great. It's been great. It's how the best way to describe it is beforehand, I felt like there was kind of this fog over me, and it's not a magic pill where it just changes everything around you, but what it does is it allowed me that fog to be lifted so that I could see things a little bit more clearly, so I could go at situations a little bit more rationally, and it was just great for me. And that's something that I wouldn't have pursued that if it wasn't for counseling paired with that. And so for the last I guess I'm still a little shy of a year, but almost a year, I've been doing both counseling and taking some medications to kind of battle that depression and anxiety that I struggle with. And you know, I sometimes still have my good days and my bad days, but it has been so helpful for me. And the reason I just want to share this with you is because I feel like, especially in today's society, we're really pressured to have all of our ish together, and that's not reality. That is not real. That's not real, people. Like, nobody has all their ish together. We can look at Facebook and Snapchat and see all the cute little filters. My favorite filter is the one with the butterfly crown. Rich. But anyways, but that's not reality. We're not walking around with butterfly crowns. We're not walking around with cute little puppy eyes and puppy ears, and we open our mouths and like, oh! No, that's not what happens. That's not real life. Real life is hard sometimes. And it's okay to not be okay sometimes. And that was something that I had to give myself permission to. And I realized that I am not a weak person because I go to counseling. I'm not a weak person because I take medication. Not at all. I don't look down on somebody who has diabetes and takes insulin. So why would I look down on myself for something like that too? And so I just hope that my story and my experience can encourage somebody today. Because again, yesterday's curls and today's pearls is ultimately all about just being the best version of you. And the best version of you today, and then the best version of you tomorrow, and just continuing to press forward. And it could be anything from rocking a messy bun to bringing scrunchies back. Those are in. The 90s are back, y'all. Anyways, but also being the best version of yourself here and here. And like I said, we really have to start taking care of our mental health. I feel like the sooner that we do that in our lives, the more success we're going to see in our lives, the happier we're ultimately going to be within ourselves rather than relying on others. And so I just want to encourage you, if you have the opportunity to go to counseling. I know a lot of times in colleges, they have counseling centers that allow students to have so many free sessions. Go to them. It's free. You're paying with your tuition anyways. Might as well use it, right? A lot of insurances cover mental health stuff to where your copay is usually the same as like your health care or your regular like physical care copay. So take advantage of that. Again, you're getting these things through your work. You're already paying for them. Utilize them. Utilize these resources, and don't be ashamed about it. Like, it's okay. It is okay. And I think if more people like did that, I think society would be so different. If I could sign everybody up for counseling, I totally would. Granted, there's not enough counselors usually, but I would do that. All I can say is it's been such a good experience for me, and I've loved it, and I've grown so much, and I have been able to approach situations differently. I've been able to deal with some trauma in my past. Not to sound too like lifetimey or anything, but I did, and it was stuff that I didn't even realize I was carrying with me. But when you're able to really sit down and talk with somebody and process some of that stuff out, and some people might think like, oh, well, that's what my friends are for. Friends are great, and I love my friends. I have some great friends, and they're smart, and they're wise, and they're beautiful, and they're badass. But talking with a counselor and talking with somebody who's not as biased as my friends are, talking with somebody who again is like a coach and is going to push me a little bit, is just really awesome. And I can get mad in front of her, I can cry in front of her, I can laugh in front of her and share like awesome experiences, and it's just been great. And so I encourage anybody and everybody, like, you should go to counseling. It's so great. And somebody might think, well, I had a great childhood. I don't have any trauma. No, it don't matter. It don't matter. You should just go. You should just go. Because you got something. There is something going on. And it's not always like bad. It's maybe just having someone to outwardly process some things with. Maybe it's just you're talking about work stuff. Work stuff drives me crazy sometimes. So having my my counselor there that I can just kind of vent to and kind of come up with some different kind of game plans on situations on how I can deal with them is great. Like, people, I love people. I am such a people person. But in that same breath, I'm going to tell you, people drive me crazy. They drive me crazy. People are crazy. Oh my gosh, but I love people. But anyways, so we interact with people on a daily basis. We have relationships, we have friendships, and sometimes those are difficult to navigate in today's society. And so having somebody there that can also help you like talk through some of those things and how you deal with conflict, how you communicate, it's just great. That's all I can say. I've done some pretty cool things in my life, I'd like to think anyways. But going to counseling and getting some of those things addressed, things I didn't even realize needed addressing in the first place, has just been so great for my heart and my mind and my soul. And so again, I just want to encourage you to do that and to look into that. If you have any part of you that is struggling, maybe it's with boundaries with people. Like those seem to be so blurred nowadays. Anything at all, like it's just so good. Even if it's something where you go once a month, it is fantastic. So yeah, I just wanted to encourage y'all in that today, because again, yesterday's curls and today's pearls is just all about being the best version of you. And the best version I know of me was found and is continuing to be found through my mental health journey and through being able to go to therapy. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Hope you can still walk away with a little bit of something from this, and I hope all of you have a blessed day. Mwah! Bye.